may have heard that there's an election coming up next week. But while everybody else is focused on what that means for Congress or various governors' mansions all over the country, I want to focus on something smaller. Voters in San Francisco will decide on Proposition C, a small 0.5% tax on large businesses that would be used to potentially double the city's homelessness relief budget. Now, I think this is a microcosm for the country at large, not just San Francisco, because the question here is very simple. What do businesses owe to their communities? San Francisco has become one of the least affordable places to live in America because there's so much tech money floating around, but nobody likes paying taxes, and you could argue that this is the kind of thing that drives businesses away. On the one hand, you've got guys like Twitter's Jack Dorsey coming out as one of the leading voices against this ballot initiative. On the other hand, you've got Marc Benioff of Salesforce, who argues that this is just pretty binary. Either you're for homelessness or you're against homelessness, which is going to be. Now, Salesforce's stock has gotten slammed today, along with the rest of the cloud names, but this is a fabulous company, and one that has a long history of being committed to philanthropy. So let's welcome back Marc Benioff, the chairman, co-founder, and co-CEO of Salesforce. Hear more about Proposition C and how his company's doing. Mr. Benioff, welcome back to Mad Money.
Hey, Jim, it's great to be with you, and thanks for having me.
Of course. Now, Mark, you have been outspoken, including a fabulous op-ed piece in the New York Times about the social responsibility of business.
Thank you.
And some of us are kind of mystified. Like, we do think that you're either for homelessness or against homelessness. Tell us, isn't it as binary as that, or I just, because I was homeless once, don't get it and I'm too biased?
Well, Jim, you understand the situation here in San Francisco very well. I know you have a personal story. We're in a crisis of homelessness, and it's a very serious situation in San Francisco. I mean, at the same time, it's really become a crisis of inequality. Exactly like you said, it's the best of times and the worst of times. Our companies are ripping. Our economy is ripping here in San Francisco. And you can see great companies emerge, like Salesforce, like Twitter, like Square, like Dropbox. I mean, I could go on and on and on. Hundreds of billions of dollars of market capitalization. You've reported on many of those companies on your program. And yet, at the same time, a huge crisis of homelessness. 7,500 homeless individuals on our streets in San Francisco. 1,200 homeless families with 2 kids on average each. This is unacceptable. We can't have on one side the most prosperous, most successful, and as you can see behind me, the most beautiful city in the world. And on the other hand, we have a humanitarian crisis of epic proportions. This is turning into a crisis of inaction and indifference, and we need to just put a stake in the ground and stop it. And that's why I'm asking everyone to vote yes on Proposition C.
Well, yeah, I know Chuck Robbins very well from Cisco, as do you, and he's saying the same 7,000 chronically homeless in Santa Clara County, and which is why he's backing a similar proposition, even though he knows it will cost Cisco money. So, I mean, given the tax return, the change in taxes, given the fact that there are so many people who are rich, I mean, you got like Chuck, you, I mean, who's opposing this thing?
Well, that's exactly right. Jim, Cisco is for Proposition C, Salesforce is for Proposition C, and of course many of our elected politicians like Nancy Pelosi and Dianne Feinstein and others are also for Proposition C. But the real issue is this: you cannot extract businesses from our city. And look, you have a beautiful office here in San Francisco, but you know, as I know, you can go downstairs and by just walking a few blocks from here, you're going to be in a very serious homeless situation. And it's also a crisis of cleanliness. This has turned into a situation where our streets have never been really dirtier and have all kinds of problems that we've been seen reporting on in national media. And this needs to come to an end. That's why I'm for Proposition C.
Right, well, Mark mentioned I was out in San Francisco 2 times ago, and there was a robbery right in front of me at Walgreens. And I asked the police what's going to happen to that person. It's basically catch and release. They have no place. You have no homeless shelters. The police do not know what to do, was my understanding after witnessing this robbery right in front of them. They don't know what to do.
Yeah, Jim, I mean, I was so sorry. You were here for Dreamforce, and we heard some reports like that from many of our customers where they had adverse situations. You saw a robbery with someone who was homeless in Walgreens. And look, that's not, it's got to come to an end. And that's why I'm supporting Proposition C, because of incidents like you have had here in our city.
Now, Jack Dorsey is vocal against your view. Wealthy, makes a lot of money. What, is this the old Milton Friedman argument that business owes nothing to community? What business does is make money for business and shareholders?
Well, you're exactly right, Jim. The question is the business a business, or is the business a business improving the state of the world? And, of course, you know what side I go on. I'm all about how do we use business as the greatest platform for change. Right. And Salesforce has worked on homelessness here in San Francisco. We've given more than $50 million to our public schools. We've given away more than $250 million overall, done 3.5 million hours of volunteerism. We run 40,000 nonprofits for free. We totally view business as the greatest platform for change. And when we're talking about a tax that is 0.5%, 0.5%, to deal with the #1 crisis in our city, how can we do anything else but to vote yes on C?
I agree. Now, well, that's my personal view. Obviously, people could have different opinions. While I have you, I've got to ask, I know how important you think IBM is to the state of our country, that it's just an important company. I know that you get along terrifically with Red Hat. Any view on the Red Hat IBM tie-up and what it means for the cloud business?
Well, I just thought this was a great acquisition today. I think this is exactly what IBM should be doing. I'd like to congratulate Ginny. She has made a fabulous move acquiring Red Hat. And they're fantastic. And they've got a world-class management team, world-class products. We use it at Salesforce. Everybody knows they are the heart of the cloud today. And now they're the heart of IBM. So congratulations to all IBM. Great job. All
right, let's leave it there. That's Marc Benioff, chairman, co-founder, and co-CEO of Salesforce. Great to see you, Marc, as always.
Thanks, Jim. Vote yes on C. Remember, C is for Cramer.
Thank you. Stay with me. Stay with me, buddy. Booyah! Jim Cramer here from Mad Money. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube. Click here to subscribe and get the jump on my exclusives with CEOs, plus market news, investing advice, and a whole lot more.